Ooh. Well, I messed that up, but what's up, y'all? Welcome back to the Check Swing Podcast with myself and the brains and the brawn of the whole situation. Coach Santa is in the building.
What the hell was that? False start?
No, I started putting us in before I was supposed to. So that's why you just saw me like big face on the screen for like a couple seconds, and I just had to add you because it just would have looked awkward.
I like how you were just like,
I was thinking like, why am I seeing myself? It's not supposed to be happening right now, but it did. So we are here. Welcome back to the Check Swing Podcast. Like I said, with myself and with Coach Santa. We are here to talk about the Super Bowl and a couple other things too, but we're here to talk about the Super Bowl is coming up this Sunday, as y'all know. Eagles versus Chiefs. And actually, I remember just now what I was forgetting before the show. So hopefully I'll get it together in a little bit. But I got to start off the show by asking and also stall by asking Miguel how he's been. So Miguel, it's been a week. How you been, man? How's
dude,
Baltimore treating you?
I am. Baltimore has been treating me well, although today I was on my express bus coming home, and there was a lovely, delightful conversation between a crackhead and my bus driver. So that was interesting.
Hold on, wait a minute. Say that again for me now.
You heard me?
No, I need you to say it again.
A crackhead was getting on the bus,
mm-hmm.
and he got into an argument with my bus driver.
Oh, okay. I'm glad you said it again because I misheard you.
With Chick-fil-A in hand, mind you. And so she was like, I feel in danger. And then she literally just stopped the bus and just walked.
The bus driver?
Yes. And the crackhead was actually trying to prove his point to all of us on why he was right and she was wrong. And he had the spittles coming out. So his lips literally looked like the dust from a Boston cream donut.
He had the Malik Yoba lips.
Yes, and he was passionate. And then after all that, she got her supervisor. The supervisor intervened and convinced him to stay on the bus while he was talking to us. Nobody was responding to him. And then after like literally 7, maybe 8 minutes, he's like, you know what? I'm gonna do y'all a favor and leave. And then in the back of the he's like, get off the bus, you mom. Yeah, so it was fun.
Sounds fun.
Yeah.
Sounds very fun. Well, I have some news for you, Miguel.
Uh-oh.
We have well, I'll just do this. The Hall of Fame is in the building, y'all.
Yeah, there he is.
The Hall of Famer has returned.
I saw the Eagles cap. I was like, let me find mine then.
There you
go. Yeah. I wanted to join in the fun too.
Yeah, we don't want you missing the memo on this one. We gotta rock out. We gotta rock out.
It's a great time to be an Eagles fan.
Absolutely.
Awesome time to be an Eagles fan.
I love the look. You look like you get ready to go out and sell a couple dime bags. I'm sorry. I want to roll.
Hey, listen. When times get tough, you gotta roll up your sleeves and get to it.
He definitely looked like he just got finished listening to the Mobb Deep album or something. He definitely looked like that. It definitely looked like. What up, Rob? How you been, man?
Hey, man, I've been great, man. I've been great. Can't call. I'm happy that we're past this below freezing weather. I'm assuming we're not going to go back there anytime soon. So I'm hoping that it continues to slowly climb. Today was really nice. I should have been on the bike today. That's how nice it was.
It was hell on my knees, bro. Hell on my knees.
If it hit 50, I'm on the bike. If it hit 40, I'm on the bikes.
So you would have been on the bike even with the wind blowing the way it was today, or would
It
that
It
is that a
wasn't
factor?
where I'm at. If it's windy, you're not really going to be pushing anything crazy, but it's okay for a nice leisure ride. But no,
Okay.
I hate the wind. That's tough, especially for me because I got a big frame, so I'm catching all of that. Unless I get really what they call arrow, you don't want to be in that position for a long time. It's not comfortable.
Well, I'm a tropical people. Anything below 70 is considered winter.
Well, you know what? I must be tropical people somewhere in here too because I don't like the cold at all. Actually, so I'll explain. I don't mind the cold. I don't like cold air. I don't like the cold wind. So when the wind
You
chill
don't-
is there, forget it. I don't like it.
Dude, I remember, what was it? And you know, I always tell this story. I remember the first outdoor practice we had when I was his assistant, when I was your assistant, Justin. And I remember I thought you were a player because you were so bundled up. All I saw was his eyes. He was dressed up like an adult toddler.
It's true. I had on the what's it called? They called it the shiesty now, but I had on the baklava or whatever it's called. I had the hood on with the thing that come over your face, and I probably had a hat on over that with a hoodie on and a couple and yeah, I was bundled up. You're right, because I don't like being out in the open in the cold wind. I don't like
I was scared to bump into you that you would fall on it and you wouldn't be able to get back up.
Hey, I'm glad you avoided me because I might still be down there. Might still be there. But let's get into the show, y'all. We got a lot to cover. Well, not a whole lot to cover. We got to cover the Super Bowl, but we're going to cover a couple other things as well. A couple notes just to put out there that we actually didn't mention last week because we were just ecstatic about the Eagles going to the Super Bowl. It wasn't we didn't care. I'm just going to mention it. We can bring it back up later in the show. I just want to get past this stuff real quick. Dallas Cowboys hire their offensive coordinator Brian Schottenheimer as their head coach.
Sorry, I apologize.
I mean, I guess he was hired for whatever. I mean, people are really like getting on them about the hire. I don't know nothing about the guy, to be honest with you, except for he's probably related to Marty Schottenheimer. That's his son, I think. So that's really all I know. Pete Carroll becomes the head coach of the Raiders, and Chip Kelly is his offensive coordinator. The Carson Wentz thing, I'm going to wait because we're going to go ahead and get into the Super Bowl talk real quick. We want to get y'all opinions on it. So what you want to do is give us a call. I got to look at the phone number, y'all. I'm sorry, I got to find it so I can look at it because I have to actually make a new background because with the 3 box, we don't have any information up there. But hit us up 669-275-0548, or you can text to 484-606-6061. I'm gonna say it again for y'all. Text if you want to text in, you can hit our text line at 484-606-6061, or you can call us and hear your voice on air 669-275-0548. The Eagles in the Super Bowl, in case you didn't know, of course, we had a tragic situation here in Northeast Philadelphia over the weekend. It was Friday night, actually, where a medical plane came down and crashed in the middle of Cotman and the Boulevard.
Yeah.
And wow, I mean, I've never seen nothing like it. Most people haven't, but prayers go out to everyone that's involved and affected by this whole thing. Scary situation because mind your own business, all of a sudden, boom, you could be gone. But I don't want to put a damper on today. I want to talk about the Super Bowl. Eagles and Chiefs, right? I'm gonna tell y'all right now, this is the one I wanted, right? I don't know about the players, I don't know about whatever they doing, but okay, that was weird. But I'm gonna go ahead and do this, and I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I don't know what's going on. Okay.
my screen kept flashing, and all of a sudden, I just got bumped out. So I think we're good.
Okay, well, you're back in. No worries. It's the one I wanted for me as a fan, but not for the reasons like some people like. Yeah, you wanted the rematch. No, I didn't want the rematch. I wanted to be the one to dethrone Andy. I wanted to be the ones that kept Andy from getting the three-peat. Had it not been us in the Super Bowl, I'd be rooting for the Chiefs. Whatever. I wanted to be the one, like it's poetic justice to me if we're the ones that keep Andy from that history. Did you guys have a preference in who you wanted the Eagles to play in the Super Bowl? Did you have a preference as to the Bills or the Chiefs?
I'm a I'm an ex professional myself, highly competitive. So I think it's an easy answer for me. Definitely the Chiefs. We need to run it back. And in my mind, in order to become the champion, it's a perfect setup to dethrone the champion. So I don't think it needs to go down any other way. I was happy when the Chiefs were there, and I'm pretty sure that if these guys who were on that team have any ounce of competitiveness in them, they wanted the same thing. I know Jalen Hurts wanted to run it back for sure.
Yeah, Jalen has a picture of him walking through the confetti from the last Super Bowl when he lost on his phone. That's his. I don't know what home screen. I guess it would be. I don't know what it's called, but
you say, yeah, home. I don't know. Yeah.
Whatever it is, when you look at your phone and you've already unlocked it, that's what you see. Miguel, did you have a preference either way? I know we talked a little bit about it last week, but it's a new week.
Yeah, I didn't necessarily have a preference, but I too like, being brought up in the, to be the man, beat the man kind of mentality. And I'm more confident about this game, which as an Eagles fan is kind of like you don't ever do. Like Eagles fans, Philly fans in general are not confident people when it comes to their team. You know what I mean? But this is probably the most healthiest that we've had between this Super Bowl and the last Super Bowl. We actually have an all-world running back to kind of offset the issues we have with the passing game.
He's a bad man.
It's like we don't, not to say that we don't need the passing game to win, but technically we don't need the passing game to win, as we've kind of shown. I'm just a little nervous that some of those things that we've been kind of up and down about throughout the season may rear its ugly head, or they could have been kind of playing the rope-a-dope and then everything's just going to be clicking on all cylinders on Sunday, which is what I'm hoping for.
Rob, I want to ask you a question real quick, real brief. And then I want to, Miguel, I want you to think about this. I'm going to, after Rob answers this question, I'm going to come to you and I want you to tell us your keys to victory for the Eagles in this game. But Rob, I want to ask you a question that's not necessarily Super Bowl or football related, but it is professional athlete related. Okay. Because you mentioned it and it made me think about it. We always see professional athletes saying it doesn't matter who we play. It doesn't matter who we play. Professional athletes are just saying that, right? Like there's always somebody they really want. They're just not saying that, right?
Yeah.
There's always like we want it, but is it always like the best, or is it always like, do they want to play the best, or do they want to, like, let's say the Chiefs are the champions, right? But let's say the Bills were the best team all year. As a professional athlete, do you want to take on the champions to beat them, or do you want to play the team that's been the best team all year in your competitive way?
It varies. If you're talking about the best players, those top-notch individuals, they're going to want to play the best. But remember, everybody on the team is different. There's so many different personalities. So you got some guys like, man, I don't want to see the Chiefs. It'll be easier.
I ain't talking about them punks. I'm talking about the people that get down.
Like he's not talking about Cowboys fans.
Yeah, but the people, but the true competitors are like, yo, I want the best. I don't want the cakewalk. I don't want the cakewalk. You know, when I just a quick synopsis. The last championship I won in Argentina, I went through one, two, three, four, probably the four best centers in the league to win my championship.
on your way to the title.
All the way to the championship. Well,
Okay.
one team was by committee. They had about like 3 huge cats that they were just rotating. You know, another, and then the other teams had one individual that was very, that was very good in our league. So, it left when you win in that manner, it leaves no doubt. So I like that they're playing the Chiefs. They beat the Chiefs. There's no doubt. Like, yo, we beat the Chiefs. It's not. We won't have to hear, oh well, y'all played the Bills. If it was the Chiefs, y'all would have lost. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I got you.
I'm very happy that it turned out the way it did.
Miguel, it is your time. What are your keys to victory for the Eagles in this game?
Say hi.
So I was looking at the Chiefs rankings, because even though they finished I forget the season, like 15-2 or whatever the case may be, or 16-1, I forget, but their offense was ranked 16th in all of football. The Eagles' offense ranks actually higher than theirs, and their defense is 19th, and ours is number 1. So the key thing is, of course, is stopping Mahomes. And I know there's been rumors of the conspiracy theories of, Mahomes always getting a key call and a key point of the game and stuff like that. But I think this is a game that has to be dominated on the defensive side of the ball. Like, they have to smack him in the mouth. They have to contain him. We do have a propensity for stupid penalties, as Jalen Carter. He's giving me a Nnamdi Kanu kind of vibes. Like,
what?
I feel what was his name?
Nnamdi Asomugha?
No. Sue.
Ndamukong Suh?
Ndamukong Suh, yeah. He's giving me his vibes. Because I have a feeling that if there's a chance that that Mahomes is on the ground, that he's just going to stomp on his face. And I don't want that to happen in the Super Bowl. I just get that vibe. But I think that we have what it takes to literally contain them. On paper, it looks like it's a pretty good. Eagles should be favored, but I think there's that fear of the refs in this game, which is a shame, because it kind of takes the shine and some of the light off of the Chiefs for what they truly achieved. But I mean, a lot of the games that they won was literally by the bare minimum, by the skin of their teeth. And I know regular season is different than playoffs and things like that, but even the playoff games, I mean, it wasn't anything that kind of stood out like, wow, they're a juggernaut. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Whereas with the Eagles, it's like the defense keeps showing up, and on offense, Saquon Barkley, it's like there's nothing else to say. So stay true to the run on offense and smack him on the mouth on defense.
Chiefs not great at stopping the run this year. I think they were a middle of pack team, maybe 11th run defense, I believe, somewhere around there. Passing defense, not the greatest, but some of the games that they won, of course, maybe they didn't win by a lot. You only have to win by 1, but they were very close games against like the Bengals. They lost to the Bills, not in the playoffs, obviously. And I believe they lost to the Ravens as well this year. Correct me if I'm wrong.
The Bills did.
Yeah, the Bills lost to the Ravens. I'm sorry, the Bills lost to the Ravens. I'm getting my teams confused. But the one thing that the Chiefs do well, and they prove it every year, is they know how to win games. Call it luck, call it whatever you want to call it. They know how to win games. When you're playing a team like that just knows how to win games, and we got a call coming in. I'm gonna get to the call in just a little bit. After you, Rob. When you're playing against a team that knows how to win games, what is the approach? Right? I mean, you got to bat, but is there a mindset like a team like the Chiefs? We've seen them pull out victory after victory in different ways. What is the approach going into a game like this for a team like that?
I think the approach to that is, of course, to come out aggressive, to limit your turnovers. Don't beat yourself.
Mm.
And when you have an opportunity to take advantage of anything, you have to do it. I tell people complain. Everybody say, you see all the social media memes. They're saying, "Oh, get ready for the Chiefs plus the refs and all that." You know, that type of stuff. And I always use this example of, like, I remember when Oscar De La Hoya was at the top. I didn't like Oscar De La Hoya. I wasn't an Oscar De La Hoya fan. I wanted him to lose. And I remember this one guy he lost to. It was I think dude might have been like African. It was like Ike
Cortez.
Ike Cortez.
Yep.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
he lost that fight, but Ike took his foot off the gas in the 12th, thinking he was up on cards. And I'm like, yo, when you fighting the champ, you have to knock him. You have to win the fight. They're not going to give it to you. So you can't wait for flags or whatever and think that it's going to go against the Chiefs. If you're going against the champs, if you're looking for the benefit of the doubt, the champs are going to get it. That's plain and simple. I don't cry about it. The Patriots, the Chiefs, okay. I was on one of those teams. And there was a team in Argentina that we just couldn't. We were up 28 in the fourth quarter one time and lost. To this particular team. Now we
had your number.
We were a dysfunctional bunch. The teams, we were definitely there. But I mean, come on, 28. But this is that type of team. It's like you have that feeling, man. I can't explain it. Those are special.
It's definitely
teams.
a team. Definitely a team. You can't take your foot off the gas with them. Like, you have to finish them. You have to finish the
flustered. They don't get flustered. They're down a couple scores in the second half. They're not going to panic. They're going to keep chipping away. And they're going to – I know what that feels like. Before, I would be upset that one team we couldn't get over the hump with. And then when I was that team, I was like, so this is what it feels like. I remember being down like 10, and then we lock in 3-4 stops in a row. You look up, we up 5. Like, I never felt like we were going to lose, ever.
Yeah.
And
that's a great feeling. Like, you always believe. You never stop fighting when you're that team. You never stop fighting because you always believe you're going to win. You just got to figure out how. We're going to take this call. We got Deotis calling in. Let me go ahead and let me get him in here real quick. Trying to unmute him. Oh, here we go. Deotis, you're on with the Check Swing Podcast. What's going on, man?
How you doing? Remember week 5? Oh, I got week 5, and I told y'all, right? I said, don't worry. Right? I said, don't worry. We will run off like 5 or 6 months. And, we're here and people about right now. Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I don't know if the guys can hear you, but I can hear you. But go ahead. I'm working on that. I had 3 key, victories for the Eagles: the defense, running game, and passing game. So the Eagles have a number of keys to victory, including a strong defense, power running game, and turnover advantage. So their defense, their turnover margin, the Eagles' defense is known for 14 turnovers, which can lead to a lot of points, as we know, right? That physical play. The Eagles play a physical style of football, which can help them, win any game throughout this year. And I think we just mentioned that pressure of that quarterback. The Eagles' defense front can apply pressure to those opposing, quarterbacks. Now the running game, Saquon Barkley, enough said. We already know what he can do in that offensive line, right? Then I'm going to go into that passing game. This is a game where I think they're going to put things together, right? They're going to allow all pass catchers, including, Dallas Goedert, AJ, and Devontae. And I think we're going to split the opponent's secondary. People understand, the Kansas City Chiefs, their weaknesses in their secondary. And one of the reasons of in my opinion, how we lost the last time is that, Nick did not go for the fourth down and 2. And what happened? He kicked the ball off. You remember, they ran it back 40, 50 yards.
right? My wife was actually at the Super Bowl last year, so she reminded me about that all the time. But when we won in 2017, we went for those fourth downs. I think as my brother Rob said, right? So I feel confident, like I felt confident throughout this whole playoffs. I feel more confident than I did the last two Super Bowls, to be honest with you. We have the best team on paper. They've been up a lot of the key players have been there before. We just gotta do it. So I feel confident. Hey guys, as always, man, I appreciate y'all and thank you for giving me the opportunity to come and talk.
Absolutely. And thanks for calling. Thanks for always supporting us, man. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. You guys take care.
All right.
One thing I do remember too is that the real turning point in that last Super Bowl. Remember the turnover battle? We had that. Remember Jalen fumbled
right before halftime.
Right before half, and that was the pivotal point because otherwise we would have won probably by 8. I think had it not been for that one turnover.
Very possible. Very possible. I kind of have to second a lot of what the caller was saying, what the others were saying. That and Mike Knox says, "Go Birds, go Birds,
go Birds." Go Birds.
I feel like the key to victory for them will be, of course, Miguel. You said it. You said stopping Patrick Mahomes. I think it will be, and this will be part of stopping him, but forcing turn. We got to force some turnovers. I heard a stat today that this is Pat Mahomes' 5th Super Bowl, and he's thrown 4 interceptions in the Super Bowl. That just means he's throwing an interception a game, right? On average. So it just means it can happen, right? The other key offensively, and this is part of giving Saquon the ball, you gotta control the time of possession, right? Because we know Pat Mahomes. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and act like he's not capable of dicing up the defense because he is, and but you gotta keep the ball out of his hands, right? I mean, if you get a 60, 70, 80-yard touchdown run by Saquon and hey, that's 6 points. I'll take it, right? And then let the Chiefs have to battle their way downfield and tie the game. That's fine by me. But what I'm saying is if we're in a back and forth battle, and Saquon's not getting that big play, which he's going to have to be patient, keep the ball out of Pat Mahomes' hands. Keep Andy Reid's intelligence out of the game. Make what's my man Spagnuolo? Make Spags cook up something to try to stop Jalen. And I don't think Jalen will have a problem cutting up the defense if he has to be honest with you. That's just my opinion right there. I don't think he'll have a problem cutting up the defense because no, we didn't see Jalen throw for millions of yards this year, but we know he's capable of doing so. So, I mean, he keeps, as long as he protects the ball, he's capable of doing so. I have a question. Not a question, but a question for everybody. It's not just for y'all, but it's for y'all too. And I thought of the question, and I didn't even answer it myself yet. I have not been able to answer this, right? So I wish I had presented it to y'all earlier, so you have a good amount of time to think about it, right? Because I don't want y'all to get up here and not know what you want to say. But anyway, I'm gonna do it anyway because that's what I do. I'm sorry, this is going to actually jump off, but we want to know if you could ask one player that's in the Super Bowl or one coach that's in the Super Bowl one question. What's the question you're asking and who you're asking? All right, I'll put it up there one more time for y'all. I'm sorry, y'all. I made it a video. It was supposed to be up there earlier. This was for social media. It really wasn't for this. If you can ask one player or coach in the Super Bowl one question, what's the question and who you're asking? That's what we want to know. Hit us up on the line. You know what it is. 664. Hold on, let me get the number out for y'all. 669, 669-275-0548. Or of course you can text us on the text line at 484-606-6061. Rob, is there anyone you would want to in this Super Bowl to ask one question? Is there anybody, and do you know what that question would be? I know it's a tough one, right? It's a tough one.
What I would ask? I would ask the question to
It's
to
tough
Nick
because you only get
Sirianni.
one, right?
I'm gonna ask the question to Nick Sirianni. What I would be curious if it comes down to it. Let's say you're down. If it comes down to where you tie the game up at the end of the game, there's no time left. You just came within 1 point, right? You need to touch it. Let's say you're down 21-28, and then you score. Are we tying the game up and going to overtime, or are we going for the win?
What would you want them to do? That's a good question. He ain't gonna answer, but that's a good question. What would you want them to do?
I'm going for the win. I'm
going for the win.
I'm
going for the win. Miguel, what would you do in that situation?
I'm going for the tie.
You going for the tie?
And then win it. I don't know. I keep thinking back to the first time we attended the Eagles Giants and Saquon dropped the ball on the 2-yard line, and I'm thinking of Baltimore dropping the ball on the 2-yard line and or on the goal line, I should say, to lose their playoff game. I mean, they had to go to for two there, but I'm just saying.
You would bring
well, I'm thinking that you maintain. Now it is more favorable because of them changing the overtime rules, but
right, and that's the only reason why. That's really the only reason why.
Yeah, but if you score a touchdown, it's over. So now we leaving it up to chance of a 50-50 coin flip. So now the ball goes to Mahomes on the first try. Now we're talking about putting it in the defense hands, and we know how that turned out last Super Bowl.
Which is true, or you put the ball in Saquon Barkley's hands, and we know how he is hitting home runs. So I would say
if we get the ball.
If we get the ball, he was winning toss.
Right.
That's a tough one because, man, you make good points, right? For me, I think it would have to be. I mean, we got the number one defense. We got the number one defense in the league. You got to trust them, right? You got to trust them. See, I don't know if I could live with. I wouldn't call him crazy or stupid. Like, I know a lot of people would probably call for his head if he goes for 2 in that situation and they don't get it and then they lose the Super Bowl, right? I can't be mad at him for going for it. I can't be mad at him for that. But I don't know if I could live with, as a coach, I don't know if I could live with we didn't get it and that's the way we didn't get it. Like, everybody will be heartbroken, right? Like, whew, that's a tough one. That's a real tough one.
But I mean, so what's the difference? Think about it. So what's the difference? So we rather go to overtime, and I know this is like against what I would probably think like during the season, right? But you go into overtime, right? They kick off, and now you have to go 80 yards or 70 yards to score, right? To win the game. You have to score to win the game. You have to score a touchdown to win the game, right? As opposed to being on the 2-yard line, and I'm right there to win the game.
Here's what goes into part of my decision, right? In that situation, well, closer actually. You thinking they're going with the brotherly shove, right?
At 2 yards, I would.
Probably not at 2 yards. Probably not at 2 yards. And I'm thinking about it like Washington stopped the brotherly shove twice last week or whatever week it was. They stopped it twice. You got Chris Jones right there in the middle too. He stops everything.
I mean, if you
like I can respect going for it, but I might have to go with the sure thing to give myself a chance, right? Because I feel like if you're going for 2, yes, you do have the opportunity to win, and it could be great. But you're also in a sense taking points off the board. Now let's not put the Jake Elliott factor on it right now because we don't know, right? So if you think about Jake Elliott, I'm going with Rob. I'm going with Rob. If you think about Jake Elliott right now this season, I'm going with Rob, right?
He didn't miss one field goal last week.
Yeah, that's great. He missed the extra point though, didn't he?
No, he hit everything last week.
Oh, he missed the extra point the week before.
He missed 2 extra points the week before.
Because
He
that's
missed 2.
he struggled with the extra points more so than he missed some field goals too. But
So there you go. You think he's going to be more relaxed in the Super Bowl, or a little bit more on edge?
I don't know.
I don't know. Like I don't know, but he's been there before. So
he also been in a record
kind of
game
funny. So
before too. He muffed too.
Let's go to the comments. Deoda said, I will ask Barkley how he feels when the Birds run the brotherly shove at the 1 yard line every time. When it's in Philly, it's the brotherly shove, but everybody else runs the tush play. But it's the brotherly shove.
He asked, we've had that conversation. I told him, if you're any type of decent running back, you're going to feel some type of way.
Yeah. You're a running back. You want the ball. You want the opportunity. Mike Knox says, I asked Hurts who's the real black quarterback, you or Pat.
Oh my God.
Okay, he said if he had one. Oh Lord, that's the one. If you had one question, he said, yeah, okay.
I'm trying to stuff some shit.
That definitely. I wasn't expecting. I forgot about the question, but thanks for answering the question. He also says 2 points, two extra points he missed. Mike, was that that wasn't last week, right?
It was the week before. It was the week before.
He missed 2 extra points 2 weeks ago, and Leslie said he missed the first, so he did miss an extra point last week.
No, he didn't.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure he did. No, was it the first?
It wasn't.
The week before he missed the extra point the week before.
Correct.
Mike says the week before, so he missed 2 extra points the week before.
Correct.
Yeah, see, that makes me nervous. So, Rob, you said it's a 28-21 game and we scored a touchdown. To me, that just means he hasn't missed any extra points. So I might just let him kick the extra point.
So it would depend on how the kicking game is going that day.
Wait, was that? I lost you for a sec.
I was saying that.
On.
I actually forgot what I said. I think I said it depends on what he's looking at. I said you said it was 28-21. We scored to make it 27-28 or 28-27. And I said that means he didn't miss any extra points. So I might have my confidence in him to make that extra point. And I definitely have confidence in my defense. Got to. Fangio's the best. To me, Fangio's the best defensive coordinator we've had since Jim Johnson. To me.
Oh, I hate that, yo. Just because of the history.
You hate
what? Only leaving it on the defense, man. It hasn't worked. Like when you look at the history,
no.
It worked out.
I agree with you. This defense is different, though.
They not the Baltimore Ravens or the 85 Bears and none of that.
Are you serious? They're the best defense in football, though. Like, all right, if this were any other defense, I think that the Rams come down and score at the end of that game. You know what I mean? Because we did
the defense 2 years ago. The Rams scored.
I think they come down and score, weather permitting.
I'm telling
you, they could have scored, bro. I don't trust. I'm not leaning on that. We need to win the game. I'm not leaning. I'm going to be on pins and needles if we have to depend on the defense to win the game at the end. I don't care if they number one.
But the defenses come through time and time again. I'm just saying, you had the big sack with Jalen Carter towards the end of that game. That was a big sack, taking them out of field goal range or taking them out of.
That was also a blown. Listen, I'm not into hypotheticals and all that. It was a blown scheme. If they don't blow that scheme, we toast. Am I right?
I mean, the quarterback's got to make the.
So are we hoping?
But the question should be, what caused them to blow that scheme?
A person not knowing the moment that I'm supposed to shade over to the right, not to the left. That's what it goes.
I don't want this to be a close game because I think we'll have a repeat of the last Super Bowl because I think they have to win convincingly, not necessarily big, but they got to win convincingly. Yeah.
I don't know. It takes a different type of mentality, bro. I mean, they're the number one defense. Do they have it though? Do they have like the mentality, Baltimore, like, yo, put it on us. We're going to win the game. I know that when I played, if y'all want a basket, I'm like, yo, give it to the other big. I'll get the stop. We need one stop. I'll get it. Please bring it my way. That's the way I felt. But when you look at that year, and my brother brought up, he was like, it was false hope because we played bad teams and all this stuff. But we were number one in sacks. We didn't get any pressure on Patrick Mahomes that game. None. And then the defense gave up 28 straight points.
That defense was draws in my opinion, to be honest with you.
Absolutely.
I didn't like the scheme they played. I didn't like the coordinator. I thought we were very fortunate to get there 2 years ago. I think we're a much better defense now. We're young. We have a nice mix of vets and young guys now, right?
With DeJean, you got the best. With DeJean and the other rookie corner, you got possibly the best corners in football right now, and we didn't have that.
And one of them playing the slot.
Mm.
I mean, I think the big loss is Nakobe Dean. I think not having that. I was scared of that, but then you have this other dude, Hicks, step right in as if he's next. So it's like not only do you have players playing out of their mind, but you got the people that are stepping up that are playing just as good. You got a defensive line that's mean, that's nasty. You got the Georgia Bulldogs up there. Like, you didn't have that with the last Super Bowl team. Like, I can't even remember. I mean, you have Fletcher Cox and, kind of a rotation going. The last one, he was on the down part of his career. No disrespect, but it was facts are facts. That's why you didn't get much pressure on him. But Jalen and the other dude, they're nasty. Like, we have a nasty defensive line that we've never I won't say never, but it's been a long time since we've had that. We got players that like ball out.
Well,
here's my attempt, Rob. Here's my attempt to make you feel better, a little bit better about the defense. And I'm going to start by talking about what you brought up, which is a very legitimate point that you brought up, because I, for one, was ready to be very upset if the Rams had was scored. Because I was expecting them to score the way they were moving the ball. I was expecting them to score, right? Here's what I want. Here's what I'll say. The last time we saw the defense just look really bad was the loss to Washington.
Mm.
And I feel like they turned that around, and you saw what they did to Washington last week or whenever that was in the NFC Championship game.
But people forget.
Not that I expect Washington. They weren't world beaters, but they had a good season.
But people forget that Jalen Hurts was hurt in the first quarter of that game.
Right, he was, but the defense still gave up the points.
Which is true. Yeah,
the defense gave up the points, but this time around, they didn't. What was it, 55 to what, 17 or something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
I mean, the offense did great, but I mean, defense scored points. Special teams got turned, and our special teams was draws 2 years ago. Our special teams was. Hold on.
Don't show your draws. We're clean.
Our special teams was 2 years ago. Okay, just in case my mom's watching, I want to turn down my microphone when I said that. They were terrible 2 years ago. Okay, this year they've stepped up. They've caused turnovers. They have good kick returns. They do their thing. I mean, I think we're in a better position this year than we were 2 years ago against this team. And I think that, and we were the favorites in that game. We're not the favorites in this game. But if you're betting, don't bet the spread, bet the money line, because there's no point in betting the spread in this game. It's a pick'em game. Shout out to Mike Knox. Deota said Eagles didn't get no sacks in 2022. Good C line, Good C line. Secondary not as good. Oh, it's probably say D line. Good D line. Secondary not as good this year. The entire defense
defense is
with a
good.
potential defensive player of the year at linebacker.
Zach Braun, baby.
How did Jalen Carter not get a nod for defensive player of the year?
Well,
No,
Probably-
you know what? Don't even answer that because I don't care. How did Nick Sirianni not get a nomination for coach of the year? But Sean Payton did.
because Nick Sirianni gives out South Jersey vibes, and
That must be it. Because I don't get it.
It's a vibe thing. You know what did it for me with Sirianni? I think when they beat the Chiefs, and he comes into the tunnel. He's like, yeah. I was like, oh God. He's like a frat boy. You know what I mean?
I get you. That don't bother. That I don't know. That just doesn't bother me. Like they don't bother me at all. Like
Or when
if a player does it, it's cool. But if a coach does it, it's not. Like I don't.
But for the record, I think they only have one loss since he shaved his head and looked like Britney Spears.
Yeah, the Washington loss.
Yeah.
He let it grow back though.
Yeah, he should shave it.
We got to keep Mahomes in the pocket, man.
Got to keep him in check.
And you know
Even but his ability to extend plays make them better than what they are.
Absolutely
right because I mean they got good running backs in Pacheco and Hunt and stuff like that, and it's like, but I believe that we can keep them at bay because we've faced better running backs and we've kept them at bay. So it really comes down to how we play against the quarterback. And Kelsey's already starting to talk about possible retirement, so it's like, all right, he's out the door. So let's.
That's hyped up for everybody. We gotta play for Kelsey. No, get out of here.
Not even for Kelsey. They want to make history.
They do want to make history. Absolutely.
They want to make history, and
but he's putting it out. Listen, he might retire, whatever he might. But I'm like, look, so what?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying this to you. I'm saying it to him. Like, so what? You got a game to play. We don't care if you might retire. Tell us after the game. Don't care. You chump. I'm sorry. I'm looking for my
If I'm him, if I was him and we did win, I'd walk away. Because he's what, 35?
I agree. I would too.
He's at the age, yeah. I definitely would.
How old is he?
Isn't he? Isn't there like a bet? Something out there that there's a bet going whether he proposes to Taylor Swift at the end of the Super Bowl or not. If
Probably.
they win,
I think there was a bet after the last one. I believe. No, was he dating her then? He wasn't dating her then.
Yeah,
he wasn't dating her during that one, was he? He was.
Yeah, that's what started the whole Swift garbage.
Okay, I thought it was last year.
He'll be 36 this year. Yeah,
he's a couple years younger than Jason, than his brother Jason. Leslie said they don't like the coach because of how he reacted to the fans. And he had that reaction with the fans this year after the Browns game. He's looked down upon by the other coaches.
I mean, and he was fired by Andy Reid, so I'm wondering he has that chip
fired
on
by
his
Andy
shoulder.
Reid?
Yeah, he was part of his Andy Reid staff at one point, and that's what made him go.
I mean, in Kansas City.
Yes, and then that's where he got the job at. Did he come from Indianapolis? I forget which.
He came from Indy. Yep.
He came from Indy, right? So yeah, so that's what caused him to go to Indy. And then that's what then from Indy to Philly.
So hold on, here we go. He says Nick is the most Philly coach ever. Just my opinion. Probably Avalon,
New Jersey.
I'll give him. Yeah, he's no, not Avalon. He's probably more
Burlington County.
Voorhees. He's Voorhees.
South Philly,
Voorhees, Marlton.
South Philly.
Right.
South Philly Nick.
He's not. He like on the Philly side. He's like, I don't know, Delco or come here.
That's not
Screw
Philly.
you then. He said Westchester.
Oh my.
Mike Knox at Westchester.
Hey, I lived out there for a little bit. Yeah, he got some Westchester in him.
Yeah, I want to see Sirianni drunk. I want to see if he becomes those
I'll be honest
belligerent,
with you,
angry.
I always wonder if he like his eyes are always red when the game starts. Like, not his eyeballs, but like around his eyes. It's a little. I be wondering about him sometimes. But as long as he coaches well, like, hey, do what you got.
See, and he's the type he looks like a Coke / crystal meth kind of user. Like he cooks it in his mom's basement.
You said it, not me. I'm just saying.
I'm just listen.
All right. One quick note before Miguel tries to stump me. Oh, I don't think Rob might have been a part of this. He might have been a part of this when he was a guest. I don't think Rob has been a part of this as a host on the show yet. But
correct.
We'll get to it. Carson Wentz is the backup quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs, and it's kind of funny. He was the backup quarterback. Well, he was the starting quarterback for real, but he was the backup quarterback for the Super Bowl and the Eagles. Well, he wasn't. He was hurt. But I just tried to make a headline. But he says it was a lifetime ago. Nah, it was. What was it? 5 years ago? 6 years ago?
Something like that.
8 man. But yeah, I guess maybe it was a little bit of a lifetime ago in football years. Maybe.
5 years is a lifetime.
All right, so we're at a different part of the show right now, right? I'm closing out the phone lines. We're at a different part of the show because we're getting ready to end it. Rob, I don't know if you will remember this or not. I feel like you might have been a part of it when you were on with us before. What happens here is Miguel gives me a player that I have to guess, and he gives me the jersey numbers of the player, the team. So what you're looking at here is these colors are the team's colors. The numbers are the numbers that this player wore for these teams. Played for 97 teams out. He's a 3-time Super Bowl champion.
So this particular player, for whatever reason, he actually only played for 4 teams, but each team he had like 2 numbers, with the exception of 1.
Yo, really, man? This is what you doing to me?
Listen.
Hold on. All right. Well, wait. Before I listen, hold on. Because a lot of times, guys that have multiple numbers are not memorable. Is this guy memorable? Am I going to remember this guy?
I already have a feeling.
You already know who it is.
I have a guess.
Rob already has it. Don't guess yet, because don't guess yet. Because So all right, the teams. Carolina.
I don't think it's this person, but I have a guess.
The 2 blue teams, the 2 blues are both Carolina.
Carolina.
The 2 greens
are the Eagles or the Jets?
Correct.
Okay, the Eagles.
The 2 burgundies are Tampa Bay.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. What's the red? Well, I'm thinking the blue and red is the Patriots.
Correct.
And what's the red and black?
The Atlanta Falcons.
And he's a 3-time Super Bowl champion. So he won the Super Bowl with the Eagles, the Patriots, and Tampa Bay.
Correct.
And he wore 34 and 38 for the Eagles. It's not Shady, because Shady went to the Bills, and the Bills are not up there. And Shady wore, I forgot what Shady wore. But I know Shady played for Tampa Bay when they won. He didn't play for the Patriots.
He's a 3-time Super Bowl champ now.
That's what like when I saw that, I was like, he won 3 Super Bowls?
These are some ugly ass numbers. Excuse me, ugly numbers.
They are. Yeah, like 30. Who
for football,
38?
they're not clean numbers. They're definitely not clean numbers.
38. Like you never see 38 on the field.
I don't even know who wears 38. I can't.
I'm trying to think who wore 34 for the Eagles. Corey Clement. No, Corey Clement played for the Cowboys at one time.
And he wore 30. Corey Clement
wore 30. So, no, he didn't play for Carolina, I don't think, or Atlanta.
Nobody.
Somebody's Googling it and is going to say something, but that's cheating. I don't Google. I try to use my brain functions, but I'm not going to get this one. 44 and 38 for Tampa Bay offense. It's not Gronk. Gronk. Oh,
What would you even think,
34.
Gronk?
Who wore 34 for the Eagles? I got. Is it? It's
Is it an
offense,
old
right?
person?
It's an offensive player.
Yes, it is an offensive player.
Can you give me the position? Because I'm thinking of running back. Right.
Yes.
So the running backs for the Eagles was I always forget his name. LeGarrette Blunt. That's not
Mhm.
him.
Not him.
Corey Clement. That's not him.
Mm-mm.
Who was the other running back? The one with the green hair? No, that was no, it's not Ricky
You
Walters.
thinking of Jalen? You thinking of Jalen Mills?
Yeah, he played defense.
Right.
Who was another running back? Like you really went down a depth chart for this one, didn't you?
Correct.
That's not fair. I thought we was he a starter? Come on, bro. Really?
He wasn't. He was a starter.
You putting practice teamers on this joint now, man?
No, practice teamers don't get trophies.
Yes, they do.
Oh yeah, they do. You're right.
Yo, man, stop making love to your dog on air, man.
She keeps jumping
Or
on.
stop letting your dog make love to you. That's nasty.
Man.
That's nasty, Luna.
She's hearing.
25 for Carolina. They didn't win. So it's the Eagles, the Patriots, and the I don't know, man. I'm trying to think. It was Corey Clement, LeGarrette Blunt, Jay Ajayi, because they did have 4 that they used that year. Why am I forgetting his name? Corey Clement, Jay Ajayi, LeGarrette Blunt. Who was the other running back they had?
Dun dun dun.
You're going to say it, and I'm going to be like, it was right on the tip of my tongue. I feel like it's right on the tip of my tongue. I just can't get it. Like I
But
can't.
right, and you're gonna be like,
I'm gonna
you
be
go-
mad when you tell me who it is.
no, I don't even know if you'll be mad. You'll be surprised. Like I said, when I saw this, I was like, he won 3 Super Bowls.
Give me the years he played for the Eagles. Obviously Super Bowl year, but give me the years.
The year before the Super Bowl, the year of the Super Bowl.
It's not Darren Sproles.
No, and the year after the Super Bowl. So he played, I think,
Year
3
before, year of, and year after.
Yes, and I think he was traded year after, and he was traded. Yeah, he was traded after.
It's not Darren Sproles because Darren Sproles played for the Saints. Saints not up there. Yo, you got it's not Shady. Well, obviously Shady didn't play around in the Super Bowl.
All right, Rob, you got it.
No,
Without
my
looking-
guess was way off once I see it. Yeah, that's not it.
He said no.
It's not Darren Sproles, is he wore 43, and I don't see 43 up there.
But Garrett Blunt, Corey Clement, Jay Ajayi. Damn. You got me. You got me on this one.
All right, here we go.
Oh,
Here
wait,
we
wait,
go. Here we go. His name is Kenyon Barner.
Kenyon
Who?
Barner. Damn. Kenyon
So
Barner.
he,
I didn't know he played for Atlanta.
it was a brief stint.
Oh, how you supposed? You said Varner with a V?
Barner,
Barner,
yeah.
the B as in boy.
Yeah, so he for a short period of time filled in when Sproles was injured and before the trade for Ajayi. And then he lost, but he was on special teams.
Kenyon Barner. Dog.
Kenyon Barner.
Kenyon Barner. Yo, shout out to Boston Scott. I don't know why he just crossed my mind just now. So shout out to
Boston
Boston Scott.
Scott, that's a good one too, but
Shout out to him. Wait, he's not the one that got in trouble, is it?
no.
No, he played for the Eagles. There was somebody just recently got in trouble that played for the Super Bowl team, I believe, of the Eagles.
Wendell Smallwood.
Wendell Smallwood. That's who it was.
Wendell
Yep,
Smallwood.
you're absolutely right. Wendell Smallwood.
What was it
Oh.
again?
Huh? He
What did he-
it was PPP money or whatever?
Oh
COVID
yeah,
money,
yeah.
whatever it is?
Oh, yeah.
COVID. Yeah. He claimed too much of it and pocketed the money.
Yeah.
Don't
Wrong
mess with
move,
the
buddy.
money. Yeah.
Wrong move. All right, look, we're gonna get up out of here. Any last words from you guys? Let's get final predictions for the game because we're not gonna be on till next Tuesday when we are either happy and I don't know if yes, I changed my clothes, but I wore Eagle stuff for like a straight week when they won that Super Bowl. Like I went to work in like the same jersey every day.
That's what you
I
should.
have pictures of it in the car at work. I don't know if I'll do that this year, but
I went to the parade and then got groped on the 11 trolley on the way home. It was a good day.
it's probably the same crackhead that was trying to prove his point to you on the bus. So I said final predictions. Mike said Eagles win 34-17. Hashtag bet that. Rob is having some difficulties. I don't know if he can hear us. Probably not. Miguel, final predictions. Come on, man. Stop looking like you sleep. Wake up. 'Cause I don't know if you're frozen or not.
I got Eagles 30. I got Eagles 30, Chiefs 20.
You're very close to my prediction. Rob, your prediction for the game. Final score.
I'm going 31-24.
Very close to my prediction as well. Leslie says 34-28, us over everyone else. She's talking about them Eagles. Shout out to Leslie.
All right, Leslie.
I got like a weird number in my head. I'm going Eagles 31. Who we playing? The Chiefs, excuse me. Eagles 31, Chiefs 19. That's where I'm going with it. Eagles 31, Chiefs 19. I never get those right, so don't even worry about it. But what I do get right is the record of the season. I predict them going 14-3, and that's just what they did. They went 14-3. So y'all holler at me next year when it's time to make them bets. All right, or holler at Mike Knox. He'll tell you about the game. I'll tell you about the season.
My dog wants to make a bet. All right, who's gonna win? Eagles or Chiefs? All right.
Right on, Luna. Okay, Luna don't care. Luna just want to play. Luna can care less.
All right,
Just
go
want
Bears.
to don't scare Luna on Sunday when you're cheering because I don't know if Luna's been around that type of excitement yet. So don't start.
I don't cheer. I mean, I can't say I don't cheer, but I'm not.
You're not exuberant. You're not over the top.
Not during games. Not during
Yeah,
games. I'll give a good clap. I'll knock over a baby, but I will not.
I'll give a loud clap. I'll say yeah. I'll yell a couple of times, but I'm not. It's probably why I watch the game by myself most of the time because I other people's energy makes me weird around football. But anyway, it doesn't matter. We're gonna get up out of here. Y'all think about what I said for a little bit and try to figure that out. But we're gonna get up out of here. We appreciate y'all hanging with us here on the Check Swing Podcast with Miguel and with the Hall of Famer Rob Battle and myself. We're gonna get up out of here. And look, have confidence. Believe that the Birds are going to win on Sunday because they will win on Sunday. You got to have the confidence. You got to believe. It's going to happen. We're going to get out of here. Go Birds. We'll check y'all next time. Peace.